This is problem 7-131 from section 7.2.2. This is a checkpoint problem on completing the square, so make sure you really understand this question. If you're still not sure, you should see your teacher to get extra help. I would strongly encourage you to get help because it's most likely going to be on the Chapter 7 test. It's something we need you to know how to do by now. Okay, so completing the square with a coefficient in front of the x squared is the challenge here. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to factor out a 2. We want this number in front of the x squared always to be a 1, so you're going to have to factor out whatever that number is all the time, because we just want it to be an x squared, not a 2x or a 3x squared. So I'm factoring out a 2 from just the first two terms because that's where it works. If I factor out it from a 5, I'm going to be left with a fraction. And at all possible, I want to avoid fractions, but you may get fractions. So I'm going to complete the square with just this part. So I'm going to draw my box with that. X squared. Split up my negative 2x to be negative 1x. Negative 1x. Do the outsides. X and x. This will be negative 1, negative 1. So in the top corner, it should be positive 1. But in this parentheses stuff, I have 0. I have 0 units. Okay, so I need to add 1 to that to make it become a square. So now this plus 1 is inside the square. I don't need to add it anywhere else in my equation on the right side. Okay, it's already kind of in there. But on this left side, I need to add 1, but I have a coefficient of 2 in front of it. So I'm really adding kind of 2 because 2 gets multiplied to everything in here. Alright, so now I kind of added a little 1 in here. So it's really like I'm adding 2 to both sides. So that's why we need to multiply what we add on the left by 2. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite this. Y plus 1 times 2 is a 2 equals my coefficient times the box, well, this box thing, the product of it, x minus 1, and there's 2 of them squared, plus my little 5 that was on the end. I have the same 5 I still need down there. Last but not least, I want to subtract this 2 over. I subtract it from the 5 because those are common terms. I can't subtract things from inside parentheses. So I have y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared, and then plus 3 on the end. So it is in graphing form. It also asks you for the vertex. Okay? Vertex is the opposite of this number, so a positive 1, same as this number. So 1 and 3 should be our graph right there. Okay? So we are going to graph this, and we're going to kind of not cheat a little bit because it just says to graph it, it says to sketch it. So what we could do is we could just draw a little sketch right here. We're going to be at positive 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I know my, let's see, in this case, it is my stretch factor was a 2, so I know instead of just going up 1 and over 1, I'm going to go up over 1 and up 2 units on both sides. If I had to just sketch this, now you can just use your calculator and get a good sketch of this. And sketch just means have a couple points. Have it look generally like that. Okay, so I know it's a little skinnier. Its vertex is at 1, 3, and that's how we change it into graphing form.